Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, I'm going to hit you with the temperature map here first thing on Friday morning. We've still got quite a bit of warmth spreading from the Gulf of Mexico through the central and eastern Corn Belt. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s at 5 o'clock in the morning here on Friday, November 20th. Much more seasonally appropriate temperatures here as you make your way back to the northwest. Temperatures in the teens and 20s as you get back into the northern plains, parts of the upper Midwest. We've got a frontal boundary that's kind of separating those two air masses. We've got some cloud cover along that. We'll see those clouds increasing with the chance for rain beginning to increase across parts of the central and eastern Corn Belt as we head into the deeper part of the weekend as an upper level disturbance, the first in a series, makes its way across the midsection of the country. So here's the radar early Friday morning. Again, just some very, very light precipitation along that frontal boundary from parts of Nebraska into Iowa and Wisconsin. Now, the hazards map from the National Weather Service this morning is about as quiet as I've seen it over the last few months. Again, we've got some dense fog advisories down here in South Texas, same thing in the Pacific Northwest, and some coastal advisories here in Florida. But a big part of the central, eastern, and western United States are hazard-free over the next couple of days. Now, the big story, we're going to be resuming a pattern here that trends back toward active across the midsection of the country. We've had several weeks, if not a month or two, of relatively quiet weather across the middle of the United States, but we're going to be changing that pattern. Again, we've got a series of waves across the Pacific Ocean that are going to be making their way in across the central United States. So a more active, rainy pattern expected over this very area as we head into the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now, side by side, the next 15 days, precipitation anomaly from our European ensemble forecast on the left, the GFS ensemble on the right. That highlights the story that I'm talking about here, a much more active pattern across the midsection of the U.S. How we do that? Well, we trend away from this pattern that's favored broad ridging across the midsection of the country, and we're going to trend toward much more in the way of troughing over the western U.S. Again, a series of waves coming in across the west, ejecting across the Rockies into the central United States. That's a pattern where we can tap into the Gulf of Mexico, and we've got the upper level support for rain and thunderstorms across the area. So here we go. This is the jet stream pattern that's going to get it done. Right now we've got this little area of stronger jet stream winds between two areas of high pressure across the midsection of the country. We saw those very strong winds across parts of the Midwest yesterday afternoon. Now here's the little wave that comes diving in out of the Pacific Northwest as we get into Saturday and Sunday. That helps organize the precipitation a little bit better along that frontal boundary as we head through the weekend. And then we get into this pattern where we've got a series of waves lined up coming in out of the southwest. So here comes the next one as we get into Monday and Tuesday. This one lifts across the central United States as we get into the mid part of the week. We've already got another one here on the backside coming in as we get into the end of next week, closer to Thanksgiving, into the following weekend. Now what happens, though, is we get into a pattern like this that's sending wave after wave across the midsection of the country. We get that the butterfly effect getting in there, and the error grows over time there. So, storm system A is going to come in, and it's going to do what it does, and that's going to change the environment that storm system B is going to be coming in. Same thing's going to happen there. Storm system B is going to kind of alter things, change the environment that storm system C will be swinging into, and thus kind of changing the trajectory, changing the amount of the precipitation. So we have to use a little bit of caution as we get deeper into this forecast, because some of the differences between some of our forecast models begin to grow as we get into that day 7, 8, 9, 10 time frame. So we'll focus on the shorter term. What we've got as we head into the weekend is going to be, again, just those very light showers along that frontal boundary over the next 24 hours. Much of the Corn Belt is going to be dry today. It's as we head into the overnight, we're going to see that rain begin to increase. A chance of some light rain overnight from the Ozarks into southern Illinois, southern Indiana, generally along and south of I-70. And then as we get going into Saturday and Sunday, that's when we get that wave coming in out of the Pacific Northwest. It rides over the top of that frontal boundary. We're going to get an area of low pressure developing here across the central and southern plains, and then that will lift along the frontal boundary through the eastern Corn Belt. So here's what happens when that happens. Sorry about that. Here we go into Saturday morning. This is Saturday midday. This is about noon, and then we'll take it into Saturday afternoon. Getting into Saturday night, the heaviest rain falls Saturday night into Sunday morning. So here we go. This would be midnight Saturday into Sunday morning. Heavy rain from much of Missouri into the southern half of Illinois, southern Indiana, southern Ohio. A little bit of snow possible on the north side here across parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Some minor snow accumulation possible. And then, look at that, in the eastern Corn Belt, enough cold air coming in here. It's not impossible. You could see a few snowflakes mixing in here across parts of northern Indiana and northern Ohio as we get into the early morning hours on Sunday, mixing in with that rain. This system then lifts out of here as we get to the other side of the weekend. We can take it a little further with the European model now. We'll quickly look at this weekend, show you the similarities here. Again, both advertising a relatively dry, relatively quiet Friday. Here are our two competing high-pressure systems that have set up that frontal boundary right across this area. We'll take this into Friday night and then Saturday morning, seeing that rain again increasing from the Ozarks along and south of I-70 into southern Indiana. And then our area of low pressure begins to develop here as we get into Saturday night, riding along that boundary into the eastern Corn Belt. Again, same thing, sunrise Sunday morning, maybe a few snowflakes across northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and then this system gets out of here as we get into the end of the day, Sunday into Sunday night. High pressure moves in. We'll see a lot of sunshine again as we get next week started on Monday, but then here comes our next system. It doesn't take long. We get into Monday night, Tuesday. This is Tuesday morning now. Our next storm system could be ejecting here across the Central Plains. Rain again spreading across the central United States. Snow again possible on the north side of that across parts of the upper Midwest. So this is the day Tuesday. This will take us into Tuesday night, and now we're getting into Wednesday. Wednesday night. So again, same sort of trajectory here, and then again, there's that third wave that will come swinging in on the backside as we get into next weekend on the other side of Thanksgiving. So this is the pattern. Understand that the specifics are going to have to be worked out day by day, but if you're catching on to a theme, it would be storm systems swinging out of the west, lifting across the midsection of the country, dropping the chance for some good precipitation across the middle of the U.S. A lot of that area does need some rainfall, does need some moisture here as we head into winter. So side by side, the next 7 days, the European on the left, GFS on the right. There are differences, but both have locked onto this pattern. Storm systems swinging out of the west, dropping a lot of moisture across parts of kind of from the Ozarks into the eastern Corn Belt. We'll call it, Oklahoma into Ohio would be kind of the pattern here, because we can muddy out the specifics by looking at the ensemble picture here. And this is the probability of picking up an inch or more of rainfall over that next 7 days. And again, you can see the corridor that's most likely right here, right from Oklahoma into Ohio. Who's the most likely to get some snow? Well, it's on the north side of that. We're calling it the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, parts of Minnesota, northeast Iowa, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, possibly picking up their first, light coating of snow. And then the state of Michigan likely to see some snow as well as we head through the next 7 days. Our temperatures, we will see some cooling, but really we're headed back about to where we should be this time of year as this system moves through over the back half of the weekend into early next week. It looks likely, though, we'll see another surge in warmth as we head into the Thanksgiving week. So looking like warmer temperatures will continue at least into the last week of November. Here's a look at your next 5 days. We'll talk about some specifics here again. Quite warm across the eastern Corn Belt down into the Ozarks, 50s, 60s, 70s to be found for the highs today. We'll knock them down just a little bit tomorrow, but still, mid to upper 40s, not bad compared to what we were doing in November the last 3 years. A lot of early season cold air across the Corn Belt, across the Midwest. Here's your Sunday highs, Monday, and then Tuesday. You can see there we do cool off quite a bit, 40s and 50s, different than the 60s and 70s we're seeing now, but that's still right about where we should be this time of year, if not just a little bit warmer. So I hope you have a great weekend, wonderful Friday. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning.